It's like the living room that's all white with the couch
Correct.
and a little clean, but you can't sit on it. Cause you sit
Exactly.
on it, then you're gonna be in trouble. I feel you, man. That's some that mental prison right there.
hmm That
So
that room in the house that can't nobody sit in.
yeah, man. Kurt, you had one of those?
You from the South, you know you got one.
Now
I
my
mean,
parents ain't do it, but
I'm
all my relatives had one.
see. I'm gonna
My
say
aunt, beautiful room, man. It was the biggest room in the house, all white. You couldn't go in there. Y'all had the what was it like the plastic
hmm
wrapped sofas?
I've seen them.
Hated those.
In the room that nobody could go in, the sofas is wrapped plastic.
They treated it as though it was a Picasso,
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it was a work of
but
art, like it's
but
gonna gain value.
if Obama was to swing through one time,
that's
you can take off the plastic, and then that's what the room is for, bro.
that's
That's the
so.
Obama room
That's
before
what I.
Obama even existed.
That's
I'm
what
about
I
to say, who was the
thought.
Obama back then? Jesse?
Martin Luther.
Maybe the delegation. I don't know.
Cause I'm like, unless the Duke of Tuscaloosa coming through, like, ain't nobody gonna be sitting here.
Not the Duke.
Yeah,
You know what it is? It probably like when the pastor comes through.
Mm.
That's what it is.
Pastor ain't coming through to sit down there. He going to the bedroom.
See, that's how y'all get got. Because I would have a room that's extra dirty, and when the pastor comes through, that's the room he going to. 'Cause
What?
when he see that room all white and clean, he gonna start talking about that tithing and 10%. When you see
Oh
that
yeah,
room, when you see that room tore up, you gonna be like, "What can the church do for you?"
Wow.
that's what I want. Where my refund at? Where my
There
stimmy?
you go. There you go. Yeah, speak on it. That should be a
Whew.
topic. How come the church ain't give out no stimmy?
Right. But they wanted 10% of your stimmy.
Mm-hmm.
What you talking about? That's for the Lord.
How you gonna get 10% of
The
something that
Lord
wasn't
need a
even
stimmy.
taxed?
The Lord
The
need
Lord need a the Lord
the
need a
Lord
stimmy though.
the Lord the Savior needed 10% of your money.
No. But you said 10% of the stimmy. The Lord need a stimmy.
Yeah.
Times out here hard for
Yeah.
the Lord.
Yo, you got 600. Lord got 60. Yo,
Hold on. The Lord struggling.
Yo, can I just get
I
the
mean,
cash out for the Lord, man? So I can
That's what I'm
direct payments,
saying.
bro. I can
I
bypass the church.
no. They got this the encrypted connection. Like it's
Oh, it's like that?
yeah, man.
And they got to give it to him in installments just in case. You know, he might blow it all if you give it to him all at once.
Yeah, man.
And the pastor has to be dressed from head to toe in order to give it to him in that Cadillac.
You got to
Look,
look
look,
clean to
look,
come
look.
to the Lord. You can't come to the Lord looking bummy.
Yeah, man. How you gonna have an unreliable car to get to the Lord?
For real. Matter of fact, you can't even drive to the Lord. That's why Creflo needed a private jet.
I mean,
Mm. That's why the pastors in Houston need those helicopters.
even better, even better. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Warm Up. I'm here with the guys. It's me, Money Making Kris. We got Street Clothes Reg, and we have Mr. and One. Say what's up to the crowd and the audience, guys.
What's up, everybody? What's going on?
Hey, what it do, fam? How y'all doing?
Cool. And if this is your first time rocking with us, this is a place where we talk about sports, current events, and everything else in between through the lens of black culture. Just a couple of announcements and notes. If you're on the audio side, on the Spotify, the Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, check us out on YouTube. The link is in the description box. And yeah, check us out on the YouTube side. If you're on the YouTube side, you seen the video, you seen us rattle out the behind the scenes and all that stuff, man. Check us out on Spotify on the audio side or the other favorite podcast platform. And maybe listen to us on the drive to and from work. You know what I'm saying? Pandemic is a little bit over, almost over. Florida's ain't no pandemic. What pandemic? So yeah, man, just check us out. Feel free to tell a friend, like, subscribe, 5 stars, all that, golden mic, all that stuff, man. And then yeah, man, check us out every Tuesday, man. We here. We're gonna keep doing this until we get canceled. Anything else y'all want to add to that?
Don't cancel us.
Please don't. Despite anything Money Making Kris says, man.
Hey, well, I'm all about making money, just like MB and NCAA and every other athlete that be out here trying to profit off of their likeness. NCAA has finally come around and eased some of these NCAA regulations. Man, they're allowing players to finally generate revenue off of their likeness, off of other independent ventures and contracts that were previously an NCAA violation. Step in the right direction. Do you guys have any thoughts on this? Street Clothes Rich?
I know we've been wanting to have this topic on this show for a while, but we never really fleshed it out and did all our research. For me, myself personally, I still feel strongly that I'd rather just have, our academics and our sports separated. That is my preferred route. I don't know what the ramifications of this will be. I'm not gonna hate or be mad. I've seen some people make up their hypothetical pros and cons, but I think this is better than nothing. So I'm happy to see something change and see how it turns out. That's my stance on it for now.
Okay, Mr. N1, what's your take on this?
This is the move in the right direction. Athletes are getting money. That's fine. That's cool. Like we did talk about this before. Getting paid on what they call the NIL, names, image, and likeness, is only for the stars, man. If you're a regular player, you're going about making the same sacrifices, skill set this isn't there, you're not getting reimbursed for all the time and sacrifice you're putting into playing for that school. And I did a little quick read on it. There's not like a universal set of rules that they have to abide by. Some states prohibit the students from getting paid for like tobacco or alcohol endorsements. Other states prevent them from signing to brands, man. They can hire agents to help them out, but it's all over the board. So it depends on the state, the school. Some schools won't let them use the images, they don't say which ones, but I'm interested to see if the Tar Heels let their players use anything to make money off of. So it's a step in the right direction, but a lot more work needs to be done. These schools are still racking in a boatload. They still secure the bag for these games and everything else, the gaming industry. So it's like a win on the surface, but we know who's still keeping the bag, man.
Yeah. So do you think this is a publicity stunt more so than NCAA really wanting to give the players an ability to to participate in a free market?
Oh, for sure, man. I equate this is gonna get deep right here, man. I equate this to people fighting for like police reform and fighting for a better education system, and people saying, "Hey, Juneteenth's a holiday."
I don't think it's a publicity thing. I do think in that vein, though, I think there's a lot of pressure, especially recently, especially with big stars like LeBron speaking up on these and other former college athletes and current NBA athletes. I think there was a lot of pressure, and this just kind of might be a way for them to buy time or to kind of relieve some of that pressure. And I guess in that way to clean up their image a bit. Congress was coming after them and having hearing after hearing. So throwing a bone.
Yeah, I feel you. Go ahead.
It's definitely throwing a bone. I just want to say one more thing on it, because the schools aren't paying a stipend to these cats, man. It's still on them to put in more work to secure these deers, to secure the bag, hire a team when they're not making money in the first place. So yeah, they're making money, but they have to put in more work to secure that bag instead of the school saying, here's a stipend. Thank you for bringing us money. Thank you for paying for this gym. Thank you for getting the golf team, new golf clubs, all this stuff. So that's why I'm like, it's more publicity because the NCAA didn't have to touch the main income revenue stream. They're not losing money at all, actually.
Yeah. It's nothing to their business model or their pie.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like everything you guys said was on the nail, on the head. Once you get into the fine print, it still sounds pretty limited. And honestly, yeah, like you said, it's not standardized. What is allowed, what's not allowed. And maybe this is maybe this is moving the needle because there are players who are deciding to go into other avenues to make it to the NBA or make it to the professional sports respectively, and that they see that well or that pipeline starting to get filled a little bit, so they're gonna move a little bit. They're gonna do the bare minimum. Is what it sounds like. They're gonna do the bare minimum to maintain the status quo. As much
I like
as
that
possible.
point. That's a very good point.
Real quick, both of you guys talked about standards. Do you feel like this lack of unified standards will lead to, kind of the new landscape of where players are going to want to go? Is this going to change the landscape to maybe more large market teams and more or less restrictive states? Players wanting to go there, most of the talent flocking there.
It's definitely going to give some programs a competitive edge if they are wanting to be more lax. It's kind of like a company. If they want to, if a state wants a company to come build and operate in their city or state, they'll give you tax credits. Oh yeah, you could come here and you don't have to pay taxes, state taxes. We'll give you some bonuses and credits and things like that. So it may be the same thing. Like maybe Duke would have a bigger bargaining chip than a Tennessee State or a Murray State, but at the same time you could probably flip that. Oh, maybe Murray State would be like, hey man, free tuition. If they really wanted to do, like, just say, hey, free tuition, everything's paid for, and you get a stipend. I mean, if they really wanted to do that, they possibly can, and or something along the lines of where they can compete. Now it's just a more competitive landscape. Again, free market, and I don't know if that standardization is going to impede or promote that competitiveness, but I guess we have to see as things unfold.
Sounds wild for a school, by the way, which is why I just decouple them, but that's the topic for another day.
Yeah, well, for the record though, the schools are not allowed to pay a stipend legally. So they still can't do that, but everything else I think Kris said is on it, man. If I'm a baller and Tar Heels are like, hey, come play for me, but I'm looking at the restrictions for North Carolina, and I can't make money on alcohol, tobacco, gaming. I can only sell my stuff at the gas station. And then, Murray State's coming through like, hey, man, you can make money anywhere. We don't care. Just come here and play.
Yeah.
It depends, man. If I need money right now, it's definitely a factor.
Yeah, you may get a free access to the Charles Barkley basketball camp. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm just trying to get equal ear.
Is this also going to lead to, like, it can probably already be distracting enough for star college athletes? Is there going to be even more distractions if you're out here trying to get it? You're working 40 hours to be an athlete when you're supposed to be a student athlete, and now you also pursuing these extracurriculars. Where does the academics come into this? When did it ever? Break it up, bro. I'm just saying, break it up.
I'm just saying, man. I ain't see Derrick Rose in a class. So
it's a shame. It's been a fraud. It's been a fraud for years, but it is what it is. We're gonna move on.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on this, man. I'm really sure things will develop, especially as the new collegiate season starts, and we'll see how some of this stuff is implemented. So we'll keep a pin in that, man. We'll move on to the more professional side, the NBA, the playoffs. Again, we're still deep in the Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals. They are there, but we've seen something very unique this year. We've seen a bunch of injuries. They've been all over the place. They've been plaguing every team from before the playoffs, during the playoffs, after the playoffs probably. And it seems like majority of the teams have taken a loss to some degree, whether it's minor or major. And honestly, I think this is the most reported injuries by major contributors or stars in NBA history, like for the postseason. So we all know it sucks. We know that the situation is a little bit interesting considering the 72 game. Oh, sorry, the 72 game season and a shortened calendar year. But we can see the injury impact. So which injury or protocol do you guys feel impacted a team the most in this dire situation? I guess war of attrition, as you would call it. N1, Mr. N1. Do you have one?
I'm gonna let Street Clothes Reg have the obvious.
I appreciate you.
So I'm gonna go for Street Clothes Reg's favorite team though. I think the Miami Heat. I think they took a lot of L's. Jimmy Buckles is in and out. I know we were talking about Tyler Hero before the pod. Is the sophomore slump? Is he dealing with injuries? Is it just a constant change of people coming in and out? The Heat were not the Heat we saw in the bubble. And yeah, different circumstances. I did expect them to make it past the first round.
Yeah.
I did expect that.
I didn't expect them to get swept. I didn't expect that.
Did not expect them to get swept. These are things we were thinking about. So for me, to that question, the Heat, because they had injuries here, they had COVID protocol there, and it just broke up really what they had. And they took a big L on that one.
You forgot about Oladipo though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a separate. I separate him from the Heat because it's his injury history from that last year or two in Indiana to Houston that's like his own thread, man. I think it's separate from these 2 seasons.
So y'all were excited. Y'all were excited about him going to the Heat, and I was like, I don't know about this. And then I bit into it. He started clicking towards the end of the season. He's out here. He's hamming it. Dunk, got another big dunk, came down, injured.
Is he the new Gordon Hayward?
It hurt, bro. It hurt my soul. I bought into it. I didn't want to get my hopes up. Then I saw it. I got my hopes up, injured. So, I mean, I wouldn't even say that injuries is what plagued the team this season. Despite the COVID, Jimmy being out, they were able to turn it around. They got into a good enough position. Too many moving pieces. They lost some, role players that really kept them in there, and they just struggled. I don't know what all the struggles are. I don't know why Tyler Hero ain't show up. I don't know why Jimmy Buckets wasn't getting buckets. It was a lot going on. You hate to see it, but so it's next season.
Yeah, maybe it was because of the short turnaround too, because they played in the finals, and a month later start the new season. Same for the Lakers, but I don't know. It could be a multitude of things. We don't know, man. That's the thing about injuries. You never know until it happens, like what the cause of it, led up to it and stuff like that.
So the team that I was pulling for after that, the three-headed monster. Never at one time did we really see all three. It was a struggle for them too. And at the tail end of it, Kyrie got injured. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Harden came back, kind of like his body was there.
He was in heart.
Yeah, and not for a lack of effort, but he just wasn't really fully recovered. And KD, he came back strong. But that's a heavy load, especially when they got rid of so many role players to have, these 2 other superstars. So now it's just really you and you alone. So
KD was on AD watch, man. Every time he fell, I was like,
I know. I was there. I was watching.
Yeah, well, I mean, the good thing about that though is at least Kevin Durant did get injured. Yep. He looks like old KD. So I'm happy that he actually took the time to get healed, get the physical therapy, the rehab, and all that stuff, man, and get back into the mix of things in a healthy way.
So no ice pack gate this season,
bro. Him and Ray J Pat, they on an old, they autonomous. They just be moving. But yeah, I don't know, man. It could be any team, like almost every team. But I guess if you want to say, you could say you guys put out the Nets and the Heat. You could point out the Celtics. They came in injured. Kemba Walker was never healthy, and then Jaylen Brown went down, and then Jason Tatum went, was trying to, I think he hurt himself too, right?
No, they bumped that game, but he was fine.
He had COVID though.
Yeah,
But he recovered from that too. Like he was dropping 50 by the time they went out. Like he was okay.
He
But
was,
it was
but
him alone.
he spoke about his recovery from COVID. It took a while. It took the majority of the season.
yeah,
And that's why they were struggling a lot
Yeah.
during the season.
yeah. So, but you know, it affected them obviously. And B, he's chronic. Someone said Ben Simmons' shot is an injury.
Wow.
It's broke.
Yeah,
mental injury?
I wouldn't say that because you know I respect Ben Simmons as a player.
For real. Shout out to
But you brought it up.
I was just
Hey, he's
I'm
reporting the news.
I'm just
reporting
reporting.
the news.
Just reporting.
You choose the news that you report.
I mean,
Hot
okay.
topic.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just trying to give you what you want to hear, man. This is what the people want to hear. But yeah, man, I know. I think the biggest one was probably going to be LeBron. I'm sorry, the Lakers.
That was tough.
That one was from the middle of the season, and again, similar to the Heat, man. They only had like a 1 month turnaround, but they are also way older. Like LeBron's 36, AD body is 36. Like he is probably like 26, I believe, but his body is
Scary.
height. All that height.
like
Who would you rather have, man, health wise, Embiid or AD?
That's a tough
see
one.
AD because Embiid is having the same injury year in and year out. Like it's always an ailing knee or foot issue. There's enough probable cause to blame AD's health in New Orleans on the New Orleans management because they were using football doctors.
Okay.
So that's the only reason. But last year he was healthy. He was completely healthy. I mean, I guess the same for Embiid. He was completely healthy last year too, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, Embiid couldn't do back to backs. He was on minute restriction, load management. You know, all this stuff, man. He only can play like 30 games a season. At least AD will play. He'll give you all of them until he breaks.
We could even also throw out that other team in LA.
But you know,
oh man,
Kawhi Leonard out.
that was
Then
low.
Zubac was out. Then Serge Ibaka was
you
out.
mentioned Serge
Yeah.
Ibaka, bro. Yeah, I
I'm
didn't.
just like, that's a lot.
I forgot he was even on the team.
You know, PG did his best. I know we give him a lot of flack, but he did his thing. Like missed free throws. That would have been nice to have won that game and have less pressure. You know, this would have been a game 7 if they had did that. But you know,
I like how
He
you
did
say.
it.
I like how you say we. It's only really one person who gives him flack. But yeah, go ahead. You can continue.
nah, I feel like there's more than one. There's two. There's one with us right now, and one's not with us.
Oh, well, you know
There's
the other one's a
definitely one
special
with us
guest.
right now, the other
He's
one's not.
He's the 5th member
Yeah.
of the group. Yeah.
You know, I think it's funny. Here's the irony of it, man. All these stars are going down because Murray with Denver.
That's another tough one, man.
I feel like Dallas. I feel like wouldn't
Luka had the shoulder. He had to put the team on his
Luka?
shoulder.
hey, them shoulders were they were carrying the load, bruh. And Clay, bruh. Clay recovered and then messed up another ligament before the season even started.
It was an Achilles.
Hey, I thought it was Achilles. Yeah,
And he did both.
It wasn't his ACL.
ACL was the end of last season.
Yeah.
So you missed the whole year.
Mm,
And then in practice coming up for this year, Achilles tore.
yeah. We're gonna see how he comes back, man. Hearts out there to Clay. But I think it's ironic that all these stars are broken, especially come playoff time. And then the one star whose playoff history has been marred with injury is healthy.
Oh, he was hurt too.
He got
He
hurt
was,
too.
but it wasn't the type of injuries he sustained previously in his career that took him out of the playoffs,
Yeah.
right? I still remember that one-legged dagger he did to the Spurs, I think 14, 15, to take them out just to lose the next series because I think he pulled his hammy.
Yep.
So, tip our hat to Chris Paul, man. It's just an irony. He's one of the few stars that's healthy in the season where we lost most of the stars.
And if I'm correct, the only star during the playoffs to suffer COVID protocols too.
Yeah. I want to say the only player. I can't remember.
The only player. I haven't heard any COVID protocols outside of that.
Yeah, that's true. Although, man, he is known for flopping. I don't know if y'all saw that flop that he took from DeMarcus Cousins. He had like he got elbowed in the neck.
Hey,
but boy be acting, boy. So I don't know. Maybe some of these flops he be hurting himself for real, like someone said.
I agree with that. I really believe like some of these injuries be him doing the most, and then like hate to see it.
So, I mean, he flopped the once. No, with him and Patrick. So him and Patrick Beverly hit each other. I think it was a game before, and Pat just knowing what Kris is going to do, they both flopped, and Kris came down hard on his butt and on his wrist. I'm thinking, dude, we can't have another butt injury, man. We already had that to Curry, man. We're going to have one major rear end injury per season. Yeah. So that I believe you on that. I think another thing that played up, I read up some stuff about the season. So like it was a 72-day break from last season to the start of this season, championship to tip off of this season. And then we were talking about how they did the whole scheduling. The first half of this season was cool. COVID jacked it up. The second half of the season, dude, 32, there were 32 first half games that were lost, that were spread across 27 teams. They had to make up in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
11 teams had to do 3 games in 4-day stretches. A lot of them. Some had to do 5 games in 7-day stretches. And then they took a look at the average of games per week. Last season, it was 3.4. So each team had 3.42 games per week per season.
Bro.
After All-Star this season, that jumped up to 3.75.
Ooh.
So,
yeah,
man.
So
it's about that money.
Do we feel like it was a short turnaround, or just COVID really just fucked things up?
I think it was a combination of everything, man. Everything. All of it. Yes.
All the
All the above. Yeah, man. No, obviously the COVID thing, that would force you to reschedule games. But again, I don't know. Maybe I don't know how the TV contract look, what they look like and how they're structured and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe some of those stretches have been canceled. If it was, too many games missed or whatever, then I feel like there should have been some, I guess, buffer or headroom to miss a couple of games. Like, outside of maybe like the Warriors and the Grizzlies and maybe like one other team that I can't probably think of. Maybe the Lakers. Everyone else was pretty much locked in. They could have missed a couple of games. I think they've probably been all right.
But then like the ones that aren't locked in, or the ones that were close to not being knocked out, like they have to play those Timberwolves and those Pistons teams too, right?
Yeah.
So it would have been hard. There would have been an argument for fairness. It would have been a whole mess. So.
Yeah. But
Dallas missed a lot of games with COVID first half of the season.
Yeah.
Shout out to the play-ins though. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, what? Yeah, keep that, man.
Yeah.
Keep it.
Yeah.
Sorry, LeBron.
Someone was complaining. Yeah, someone was complaining about it, but I was like, I enjoyed it. They should keep it.
When I first saw it, I was complaining about the format. I didn't like the single elimination style, and I still don't know if I like the single elimination style per se.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like that it made the end of the season interesting. Still.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. And like I said, historically, man, we always say, in the West especially. I mean, the East it could be like that too, but the West, just over the past decade or so, we've always looked at those teams who was like 500 and just missed it because they was in the Western Conference. And then you look at the Eastern Conference and folks with 35% winning record making it into the playoffs. So, at the very least, it extended it to like the 10 or 9 teams, like, you know what I'm saying? The 10 teams. So now there's a window for you, like, if you want to make it, you got an opportunity now. Yeah. So I still like it, man. I think it was fun. It makes the end of the season way more interesting. It's almost akin to football, like the NFL.
As a point of contention, like that single round elimination did give you that, wild card, football playoff feel. Like the excitement of this one game means everything.
Yeah.
And that was a great game
watching the Warriors and the Lakers play, man. That was fun.
Yeah, that was one of the best playoff games.
Pretty much. That one.
Yeah.
Also, the Grizzlies and the Warriors. That was fun. They went overtime.
The Warriors
Yeah.
period. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was good.
So yeah, man. Keep that. Everything else, man. Shorten the season and do whatever. Give these guys some rest because they got to go play overseas in like a month.
And then
Olympics.
Silver said next season starting on time in October.
Yo,
And the championship games gonna start with July the 22nd. Bro, they not getting no time off, man. No time.
So I would say like Adam Silver is 99% a good like commissioner. He's almost did everything perfectly. I think in hindsight this may not be a good look. Like all these games in such a shortened season or calendar year, the turnaround being too quick, all for the interest of like the stakeholders and the money generators and stuff like that, the revenue guys. Sometimes, I mean, if you gotta take a 10% loss and just make it across the board, restructure the CBA so that it's just like if you're at work. Sometimes you may be okay with just having 3 days off every week. It's gonna cut your pay a little bit to some degree, but I think the quality of life is, invaluable.
I still give him a good grade on that though, just because I feel like the players had to be a part of that decision, and I'm pretty sure everybody came to that agreement together.
Yeah.
And it's easy for the big fish to be like, oh no, I'm gonna sit out. Like those other people might really need that.
Yeah.
But those other players who don't have Space Jam 2 coming out and stuff like that might really need as many games as they could play to get by.
Yeah.
And the ones that don't, we saw even last year with the bubble, like people, they had the flexibility to opt out.
Yeah, and
that's true.
I like what you said. Players are saying they might not like it. No one is saying that they didn't know this was coming. No one is saying this is a surprise.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. They all had a voice. They all had a vote. So everyone knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on that. I don't know, but maybe this is a good I trust your judgment. We ain't gonna like it, but we're gonna ride with it. But I can see how if you keep putting them in situations where like people like are not happy with it, and it grows and grows. If that goes that direction, that can start to look unfavorable down the road. So I don't know, like use it with caution is all I would say. Anything else on? Go ahead.
I think we'll get this COVID thing figured out though. Hopefully by next season. Who knows? Yeah.
Man, we might be on the Zeta strand by then, man. You gotta go back through the alphabet. The Alpha 2 strand. Oh shit. Alpha 2.
So we talking about like all these different strains, talking about some OG Kush strains and stuff, or whatever they got. Like, whatever those things are. They gonna be talking about some crazy stuff.
Oh man, so I don't know, man. We'll see how the next season looks, but in the meantime, we gonna get real early. Get started with these trade rumors because they already starting to boil and simmer a little bit. We have this guy, man. I don't know if you heard of him, man. Andrew Wiseman. He's out of Memphis, number 2 overall pick. He went to the Warriors. He had a pretty good year. He also had an injury. Ironically enough, right? That ended his season. And the Warriors are out here trying to play chess out here. They're trying to see if they can upgrade Wiseman to a Siakam from Toronto. Some people think this is a good move. And, we have some resident Golden State Warrior fans out here. Stands almost, borderline. So, Mr. Anwan, what do you think about that? You think this is going to be a good fit?
Man, I'm gonna be objective with it, right? You're leveraging
speak your feels.
I'm gonna be objective. We're leveraging the future for the now, is what you're doing, right? I think at this juncture, man, because they had to sit Wiseman down before the injury because of confidence, right? He was lacking confidence. In the beginning, he was balling, made a couple of mistakes. Kerr came down on him. They had to bench him because he lost his confidence. And now you can't even type in Warriors without Wiseman trade. You're seeing this. He's a young dude. He didn't play the last year of college. His college got shut down. So he's not used to all this, man. I think at this juncture, they have to pull the trigger. You can't tell this young man, hey, he's reading all this stuff everywhere. And you can't bring him back. Oh, hey, Wiseman, we're just playing psych. We want you to play and be part of this team, right? You got to trade him. You have an all-world shooter in Curry. We're hoping Clay comes back at least at 80%, right? And you need somebody big in the middle, man. I think Siakam's a nice one. I know there was talk about PG. As much as I like to rag on PG, it would be a good fit with the Warriors, right? You need a big wing. Yeah. Siakam's more of a power forward, but he has some mobility. He could do that. Last year, he was averaging, 21.4, 7.2 rebounds, 4.5 assists, so he can move the ball. If we can get him to stop doing that Siakam spin move all the time, we don't need to. I think.
Isn't he like a number one and number two option though?
What's that?
Isn't Siakam like the number one and number two?
Right, in Toronto, he was number one.
Yikes. Only 20, 21?
Yeah.
Yikes.
This was last year.
I was gonna say, remember, man, the coach threw him under the bus this year.
Yeah.
So shot his confidence a little bit too, or probably didn't leave in a good position, or leave him feeling like he was valued on the team. So Kris out here damaging goods.
Probably a fair trade then. I don't know. I like Siakam for the squad. How's his defense?
His defense is okay, man. It's not too bad. Pairing him with Green. I think for the money, they'll have to throw in Wiggins. And in the ideal world, it would be cool to keep Wiggins and have Siakam. But that's a lot of money on the books, bro. Okay. So they got to give up Wiggins in the Siakam trade. So the question is, do you think that Siakam is an upgrade over Wiggins?
Yes.
Is that a real question?
There we go then. So
well, I mean, wait, hold on. Let's think about it a little bit though. Mm-hmm. You know, as Kev pointed out, he was getting his quiet little 20.
Quiet, man. Sleepy quiet.
He's getting his quiet little 20. You already getting the 20.
Yeah.
I think somebody was hacking the scoreboard, man.
Defense is okay. This is like Siakam's defense is okay, but I feel like Siakam's a little bit longer. They could use a little height on the Warriors. It wouldn't hurt.
And Siakam's more aggressive, man. Wiggins is not. You need somebody. You need that dog in you. Siakam has that.
Can't teach it.
Nah.
Yeah.
Woo. Man, I don't know, man. That's boring to hear when y'all talk about Wiggins. He put me to sleep.
Exactly. That's how he gets those 20. Put his defender to sleep.
What do y'all think is a better fit though, Siakam or PG?
I think
Paul George, PG.
Yeah.
I think PG, because PG, I saw him facilitate. I saw what he did in the playoffs, man. I think
with the Warriors,
when PG's not the primary, I think he's awesome. I think when you put too much on him to be the primary, I don't think that's a role that's really meant for him.
Who was primary in this? Who's playing primary this time? I feel like he was kind of handling the ball. Like he had Pat Beverly for sure, but like I felt like he was kind of facilitating a little bit more.
I mean, the primary scorer, like the primary option.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant primary ball handler.
Oh no, he did okay in that role. I think it's just the primary scoring option. I think that's a lot on him. So put him in the Warrior system.
He did well after Kawhi went down, like, for whatever reason, as the primary scorer.
He had some moments. Then he had some not so great moments. That's why I think you put him in.
When was the not so great moments though?
I mean, do we have to talk about the free throws?
Right.
One game he missed 2 free throws. Oh,
we're not going to talk about
that.
We're not going to talk about everything he did up to that point to keep them in there.
It don't matter according to them. It don't matter.
It's something he's never done in the entire season.
So that means that's an outlier. That's an exception to his quality of play.
I've
seen D Wade do it. I've seen LeBron do it. I've seen player after player do it.
I mean, but it sounds like this sounds like Curtis just a prisoner of the moment. Remember when Danny Green missed that open jump shot?
That was hideous.
See,
that was hideous.
And he used to say this.
That was like, so terrible. They should have been horrible. One that.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And I agree with him though.
But
here's my thing though.
But he was doing much better on the 76ers.
Thank you.
He's not efficient. He did not get those points. He had an efficient game. his playoffs are not efficient. That's why I say I think it's a lot on him. So if you put him like in the second or third option, dude, beast mode.
I mean, we talked a bit about injured and hurt earlier. Didn't PG have like a foot thing going on this whole season?
I don't think he had.
I thought it was quiet.
It was a toe. I think it was like a toe injury.
Oh, it was PG.
Oh, I don't remember that one. But I wasn't tracking his injury like that. Oh, it wasn't like loud news, maybe.
I know it was one of them.
Because he's been playing through it like pretty well.
Yeah. But let's talk about efficiency real quick. Because, I mean, you like Devin Booker, right? Like, you think he's a solid player. You know, he's contributing. He's a solid contributor on the Phoenix Suns, who are going to the finals, right?
You talking about the Devin Booker that beat the Clippers, Paul George Clippers?
Sure, yeah. That one.
Yeah.
That one. The one that Chris,
that to D-Book?
the one that Chris Paul closed out on in Game 6. Because
Chris Paul is a closer.
He came in. He scored 8 straight points coming off the bench. He had 2 threes and he had like a jump shot.
CP3 is a closer.
Yeah, that guy. Okay, let me.
But the engine is Devin Booker. But okay, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So you said that Paul George is not efficient, right? So you're gonna just ding him for that, right? Just real quick. I'm curious.
What you got, man? I'm not falling into your trap. You already got it set, man.
D-Book is not efficient either.
So
don't go in the house. I'm not going in the house, Chris. I'm gonna stand outside and listen.
So would you call 51%? Would you call that efficient?
I'm not answering your questions, man.
That's actually not bad though.
Thank you, Street Clothes.
No.
Thank you, Red.
51, every other shot.
Free throw?
Yeah,
free
every
throw?
other
That's
shot.
bad.
Every other shot, right?
51% free throw is bad.
No, 51% from the field.
I doubt not either one of them is anywhere close to 51%.
Devin Booker had 51% game 1, right? You want to know what his other ones were?
You talking about after they broke his nose in 3 places?
That wasn't that game, but if you want to go ahead and be revisionist history, go ahead. Is that? But that's good though, right? Why is it so hard for me to answer this question? Is 51% good?
Has Devin Booker hit the side of a backboard in the playoff game? I don't think he has.
So we bringing up bubble. We bring up a bubble situation a whole year ago, a whole playoff season ago. But we're talking about now, though. We're talking about now, though, right? Or we're talking about a season ago.
Nobody doubts Devin Booker.
Because Devin Booker didn't make it to the playoffs, remember? Devin Booker didn't make it to the playoffs, remember?
Only undefeated team in the bubble.
And still couldn't make it.
Oh my God, y'all in there.
Bubble champs.
I hate that
Bubble
stat,
champs.
Brad. I hate that stat for you.
Look, it carried over into the season, and now they're going to the championship.
Chris in this prisoner might be onto some of the prisoner of the moment, bro. You just keep replaying this.
Yeah, bro.
Did they not carry it over the bubble?
Doctor Strange,
to the championship?
He's in a time loop.
Who's in the championship?
So let me just speak this. You can take this and you can go home. You can go into your room. I know you're not at home right now. You can go into when you get home.
This is home. I don't know what you're talking about.
You can go into your room.
New home.
You can when you're alone in your room, you can stare at the wall. And then back of your mind, you're gonna hear your conscious call to these stats right here. Game 2, Devin Booker 31%. Game 3, Devin Booker 23%. Game 4, 36%. Game 5, 40%. Game 6, closeout game, 38%.
Nobody's doubting Devin Booker, man.
So you say
that efficiency was the issue.
I say he's not. Paul George is not an efficient player, man.
And all 6 of those games he had Chris Paul. Paul George didn't have the claw.
So what point are you trying to make?
So when you're talking about Paul George and you want to knock on his inefficiencies as a knock against his playoff performance,
and he missed 2 free throws.
2 clutch free throws. You guys are making. It's the equivalent of Nick Anderson missing those 3 or 4 free throws against Houston. The reason why Shaq left Orlando back in the day, man. To me, it's on the same level.
I just want to make sure you have a stronger argument than inefficiency.
Shaq ain't leaving nowhere because somebody missed free throws. Stop it.
He left because number 1, money, and number 2, he got traded because of Kobe. Anything else you want to add?
Hey, those free throws played a part, man. Here's the thing.
But Shaq would have probably got hacked 100 times at that game and missed all of the free throws. So he has no.
We ain't talking about
space.
Shaq. We know
he has
Shaq
no
missed
space.
free throws.
He has no space to say I want to get traded because somebody missed free throws.
When you advertise yourself as a premier wing defender and one of the top tier offensive threats in the game, yet your defense looks like it's made of Swiss cheese because people was running holes through you to the goal, that changes things, man. So that's what I'm saying.
So can we look at these?
I mean, Luka almost destroyed them single-handedly.
He was destroying everyone, and then guess what? It got too heavy, and then he couldn't do it no more. Remember, they lost 4 straight, right? Okay.
Hey, listen, they barely got by. That's with Kawhi.
And the defensive player of the year got cooked too. So,
bro, I'm just trying to figure out what the lie is.
Hey, no, so listen, this is what I'm telling you, man. To me, this is my stance. Paul George, tremendous player. He's not the alpha player. He's not your number one. He's not the number one on the championship team. That's my point.
I mean, he hasn't been on the championship team, but okay.
Neither has Devin Booker.
The Clippers?
That's not a championship team. Have they won a championship?
Are they championship caliber team? Are they not? I mean,
so you changed it. You said championship team. So like you saying
championship caliber team, man. He's not. He's not your number one in your championship caliber team.
If he would have took that team past the Suns, he would have been the number one option on the championship caliber team.
Then he would prove me wrong. But
he was actually the number. But no, hold on. You just switched it up to caliber. He was the number one option on a championship caliber team. That just happened.
Okay. Paul George is not going to take you to the championship as the number one option.
And that's what I disagree with you with, though. And you said, "Oh, they're a championship caliber team." Like you confusing me.
No, because Kris is like, "Well, he hasn't been to the championship."
Because I said that because
you knew what I was talking about, Reg. I was going off of Kris. He's never been to the championship. That's why I changed it.
But I said that because I said he hasn't been to the championship, so no, he can't be the number one option on that team. So you switched it to caliber, and I said in that case, if we just talking about caliber, that was a championship caliber team. They were in the Western Conference Championship, and they had a path to victory. If he didn't mess up in that big moment, this would have been they would have been having a game 7.
That's why I wanted to be very explicit. Paul George is not taking your team to the championship.
He can
as a number one option.
He can.
Then why didn't he?
Devin Booker can't either, apparently.
Then why
Chris
didn't
Paul's
he?
to close.
Yeah, he could. Okay, why didn't he? Number one, he didn't do it because when he was in the East, LeBron James stopped a lot of people from going a lot of places. Now in the West Coast, you know, if he was built to be the first player and he had a lot more role players, maybe it would have been different. But all of the other key talent were injured. So
and you can also say LeBron James. But yeah, I mean, what you're saying is valid. I'm just saying that LeBron James is also there too.
No, he's there, but
he
LeBron's a little bit older, and they never met each other.
Yeah, they haven't met.
They didn't get that far, so that would be the other issue. So I think he can.
So
I don't think he can. I don't think he's cut out to be the number one option of a team that's playing in the championship. Number 2, sure. 3, definitely.
Would you say that Devin Booker is a better player than Paul George?
That's a good question.
No, I wouldn't. Not yet.
All right, but we can move.
Devin Booker is a better offensive player than Paul George. Better player overall? Nah, not yet. Not yet.
Okay. I was gonna let you just marinate on that, but
better offensive player though, yeah.
We off the rails, but I know I took this.
How you think he's not? How many points is Devin? What's Devin Booker's career high? And what's Paul George's career high?
Are we doing this?
No,
really?
No, we're not doing.
Are we doing this?
Stop
I mean, hey, you asked the question. You asked the question.
One game. So you said a career high is gonna precipitate how well you
Devin Booker
are.
Carried those Phoenix teams.
Who had more rebounds? Who had the career high in rebounds? Like we can play with this.
Let's think about this. Paul George played with Westbrook, one of the top 10 best point guards in the league. Can we say that? Okay.
Devin Booker is playing with the best point guard in NBA history.
Hear me out.
So
And
okay.
he couldn't get past the first round, right?
A lot of people, but a lot of people have issues getting past the first round with Westbrook. Though.
Fair.
And again,
Fair.
CP3,
Okay.
Westbrook. Like really, like these are they on the same tier? I don't think they're on the same tier.
Who?
CP3 and
That's-
Westbrook. They're not even on the same tier.
Follow me out. So you go back to Indiana, right?
Okay.
He ran into LeBron James. He couldn't take Indiana over the hump, right?
Okay.
First year in the Clippers.
But mind you, they got to like game 7 too, with him being like the number one.
The
option.
number one guy. And again, he also had D Wade, who was probably a top 5 historically best shooting guard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, that wasn't enough. Yeah, numbers, but they got to game 7. All right, then with OKC, Westbrook couldn't get out of the first round. Last year, we never got the Battle of LA. I bought my tickets, still ain't got a refund for it. Right? Never got that because Paul George is shooting side of backboards, right? Now this year, he kind of faded the first half of the Mavs game that he woke up, and he's been on a tear ever since, man.
Oh man, so yeah, man. I know we went way off the rails, but that's fine, man. We got one last topic, man. Hopefully, man, for the Warriors, they do what's best for them. I mean, I do want to see Wiseman there, but I wouldn't be mad if Siakam went there and Wiseman went somewhere else. I think Wiseman's gonna do fine regardless. So yeah, we'll see how that looks.
I think it'd be a good trade.
Yeah,
It'd be nice to see the Warriors back, man. But I think they're in a tough situation. Everybody knows they want to trade.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, let's move on, man. Along with some of the trade rumors, we know we always have a shift in the coaching vacancies and fulfillments and positions, and boy, we got a lot of them. Boy, Terry Stotts is out. Budenholzer should be out, but he's still in the playoffs. We got the other guy, Scott Brooks is out. Rick Carlisle is out, and Brad Stevens got promoted.
How'd that work?
How bad do you got to be to get promotion out around here? So yeah, man. With the new coaching vacancies, we starting to see some of them fill up, man, and some of them are like fan favorites. At least from a perspective of people who we want to see get a shot and get a crack at this stage. So Chauncey Billups finally got his opportunity. He's gonna be teamed up with Dame in Portland. We got Jason Kidd. He's going back home to the Mavs. It's crazy. I wonder what that contract's gonna look stupid.
Yeah, another negotiating it, but I know you guys talked about him being the highest paid assistant coach. Was $8 million?
$8.5 million. Third highest paid coaching on the staff behind Doc Rivers and Popovich.
So is he about to be the highest paid head coach?
He would have to be. Even if they paid him the same, he'll be paying very high pay.
Just for inflation, he's gonna be paid the high.
Yeah, for real.
So, the tax savers, man. Yeah.
It's
going from Cali to Texas.
Oh,
yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be love.
Oh yeah. Take home pay.
Yeah. So we got Chauncey Billups to the Blazers, man. We got Ime Udoka going to the Celtics. I don't think I've ever heard of him, but we'll see him soon enough. We'll probably get to know him real quick, and then we have some vacancies still. Oh, Rick Carlisle. He's with the Pacers. He's back home.
Yep.
And we still got some other pending ones. What's your favorite vacancy? Who you most excited to see? Like, be in the driver's seat as far as a coach and kind of seeing their impact.
The ones that are named or the ones that are still on the table?
The ones that are named.
I like Chauncey Billups finally getting a shot. I don't know much about Ime Udoka. Hopefully he could do better with the Celtics because they had the talent. We talked about some of the struggles that maybe Jason Tatum was still suffering in the beginning, and then obviously the injury to Jaylen Brown and the perennial injury with what's his name, the point guard there, Kemba Walker. So that's interesting. I don't know. The Mavericks are an interesting squad. They seem to be doing very well with a lot of heavy reliance on Luka Doncic.
Heavy,
explosive offense, and it just seems like he misses free throws, but he doesn't miss anywhere else, which is interesting. With Jason Kidd, so I think I'll have to go with Chauncey Billups. I think, I'm sure Dame had input, so he's probably happier. And just want to see what they could do with that team. Hopefully, we can see like McCollum kind of get some growth and just work with what they have. That's my exciting one.
Okay. All right. And one.
I like everything Red said with that, man. The Chauncey one scares me a little bit because I seen the article that says a lot of NBA stars are petitioning Dame to leave Portland, right? And you got all these Portland trades, giving up CJ, which people have been talking about for a long time, but what are you gonna get in return? That's a little shaky. Kid, Mavs interesting because allegedly, the J. Will wire, they're saying that the shakeup with the Mavs front office is mainly because Luka didn't get along with a lot of people. Carlisle didn't like how Cuban was relying on some ex-gambler that's now like their statistician guy, the analytics guy, and he was picking him over everything else. So for Carlisle, who's been a fixture with the Mavs for a while, to go back to Indiana, and on paper, Luka Doncic versus the Pacers. They got Brogdon and they got Sabonis, but Turner, none of them are on Luka's level, right? So that it takes a lot to go and take the Pacers job. I'm most interested in what the Pels are going to do. I'm most interested in that vacancy. You got BI, you got Zion, you got why can't I think of the ball first name? Lonzo. And you got some people down there, man. You have some ingredients to have a playoff team. And Zion wanting to get out, huh?
I said they definitely have a playoff team.
They got a playoff team, man. So I want to see what the Pels are going to do, man. That's my most interesting one, is the vacancy.
Playoff team that consistently misses the playoff.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna go with you guys, man. I like Chauncey Billups as a coach that I've never seen before. I do like him paired up with Dame. I think Terry Stotts was relying on ISO ball a little bit too heavy, and also was not instilling any defensive philosophies at all. So you had to score a lot of points in order to even be competitive on Portland. So hopefully with Chauncey, and he has a relationship with Carmelo as a player back in Denver when they both played together. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles a lot of the guard, that point guard whisperer, and just being able to get the best out of Dame, get the best out of McCollum. I think McCollum needs it more, but regardless, have them working in tandem versus just being a 1-2 punch like ISO ball. You have somebody get subbed. That gets pretty old, especially in the playoffs. It becomes ineffective, as we can see. The other person I would want to see though is I kind of want to see whoever gets this Dark Wizards job. They got Bradley Beal. Mr. Triple Double himself and Bradley Beal, who was the scoring champion this year, I think, or maybe he was second. I think he barely lost it. And they're saying the same thing about Beal, man, petitioning him to, hey, man, get out of Wizards, get out of Washington, go out there and do something productive with your career and all that stuff. So they finally got the guy out, Scott Brooks. I don't think he was ever a good coach. And
no, never.
Yeah. So
Ever.
I think Mark Jackson would do good there.
Oh, definitely. I think he would. But there's a lot of people who I think would do well. It's just that you gotta call them, you gotta give them the chance. I would be okay with Becky Hammond. I know we haven't finished all of the coaching roulette, musical chairs. So she has a chance still. But yeah, man, I really, from what I see so far, I think Chauncey Billups, I think he has the highest upside. We've seen Jason Kidd. We know he's willing to do anything, spill a Coke on the floor, whatever. So we know he got some sneaky schemes to get the win. So I'm sure he's gonna figure that out. But
I think the Wizards also interviewed Sam Cassell.
I want Sam Cassell to get a job, man. I want to see what he can do as a head coach.
Yeah,
I was just about to say him.
Yeah.
I think that system that Becky came from, I don't know about the Wizards. They don't. It doesn't seem like very team-oriented basketball culture right now.
No, but I'm sure that can change. I don't know if the culture is because of the coach existence, with Scott Brooks, or it's because of the personalities on the team. Sometimes it comes from the players, like we saw with KG when he went to the Celtics. It became like they became like this really tight knit group, so they were able to communicate at a very highly effective rate. And then even Jimmy Buckets in Miami, but and Jimmy Buckets in Minnesota. But sometimes it comes from the coach, sometimes it comes from the players and their personalities and how that meld. So hopefully Becky will, if she gets or Sam, whichever one.
Well, I would like to see her more on the Magic or Pels, like a younger team.
No,
where she
I
can
want to
kind
see
of
on the Magic, man. That's a toilet bowl.
Yeah, but I feel like a younger, more malleable team where she can kind of set up a culture of her own. I would like to see that.
Yeah, I see your point on that one.
I mean, there's no expectation.
It's gonna be harder to coach. It's harder to coach Beal and Westbrook, in my opinion. Like they are who they are, and they do what they do already.
Yeah.
I am interested in. I know we didn't talk about Udoka. I hope I say his name right.
Yeah.
But he came from. He's another Popovich disciple, man. He was on the staff of the Spurs. Yeah, he's been a good assistant coach for a while. He's always been in the runnings for these coaching positions. This is his first time he's been hired. So I'm interested to see what he's going to do. Coming from a Popovich line, if he can, because I know, Kris, you said Chauncey Billups, but looking at the Celtics, man, you got two bona fide stars, and you have the heart of the team in Marcus Smart, where Portland, you got Dame. CJ is a solid guard, man, but I wouldn't say it's a one-star team, really, as opposed to the Celtics having two. So I think he has the best of the bunch. So we'll see what we can do. And Hartford came back home too, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely. If you look at the lineup or like the roster you got to work with, obviously, I think it would be the Celtics as the most versatile, because I mean they're young stars. They're both wing defenders and wing offensive players. You have Marcus Smart. Like you already kind of have what you need, the ingredients to build. Maybe just get some marginal pieces or some complementary pieces, like another point guard since Kemba's walking, and get a better internal guy, or like a PJ Tucker. If they can get like PJ Tucker or Jay Crowder, then definitely it would be helpful for them. But as far as your foundational pieces, they're good. So I think they have the best foundational pieces. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So. All right, man. Anything else before we wrap this up, man? Sounds like I got to work in the morning. All right, well, then let's go ahead and sign off. Then I'll let Mr. N1 go ahead and give his piece. So speak it or forever hold it.
Hey, man. Quick fact for you guys. This is the first time. This is from. I should have wrote down so I can cite them. But this is the first time in 35 years that not a NAN player that's going to play in the championship played with the great Shaquille O'Neal.
Big goat, not the baby goat.
Nah, man, he ate the goat. What are you talking about?
Barbecue chicken.
You sure Chris Paul ain't played with him? Man.
Who?
No.
Chris Paul?
Nope.
Yeah.
And everybody else, all the other teams, they youngsters, man.
Yeah, they all young. That's probably why they passed his. When they got in the NBA, Shaq was out.
He had his fingerprints on so many damn organizations, bro.
Yeah, he did. He said he wished he didn't do that, but oh well. So, is that it for you? That's all you want to do? You just want to give him a quick fact?
Hey, random fact, man. I know you guys got the round up with the good stuff, man. Trying to save a little meat on the bone.
Hey, hit us with this right in the post processing. The more you know.
Oh man! All right, man. Mr. Street Clothes.
Just gotta say, it was a great episode. I know we went a little off the rails, but great topics. Hope we can get into this NCAA thing a little bit deeper in the future. Thanks everybody for joining us. We really do appreciate y'all checking us out every week or whenever you can. Like Kris said in the intro, catch us on YouTube if you want to see us and get some of these bloopers, outtakes, hot mics. Or if you just catching us on the ride, find us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, really.
Yep. And just like they said, we out here. I mean, except for the stats, I don't know what that's doing for us, but whatever Red said, yeah, man.
Hey, the stats is dropping knowledge, man. You on a whole nother level with this hate stuff, man.
What are you look, man? I did my
hater extraordinaire,
bro.
Educating the people, bro.
I did my stats. Look, I gave you my stats before we came on. Before we went live, I did my stats search for the night.
I don't recall what you talking about.
Oh, okay, all right, that's fine. I also did it on here, man. We was talking about inefficiencies. We was out here just throwing mad dirt on.
And then you named another inefficient player, so
that you don't think is inefficient or that you think is.
I didn't say that. I just said he's inefficient.
Oh, okay. I just want you to measure them with the same measuring stick. That's all. You got two measuring sticks. One's in kilometers and one's in like meters, but because the numbers were like this number is bigger, so that dude over there. So.
Yikes.
But nah, man, I appreciate you guys rocking with us. I know, like I said, you could be doing it anywhere, but you chose to do it here. Again, check us out on Spotify, on the Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, Anchor, all that stuff, man. Or just come over here, come on down to YouTube if you on the audio side. The links are in the description box on each respective site. And yeah, man, if you tell a friend and help us grow, subscribe, hit the notification bell when we drop, then we'll be able to infiltrate the algorithms and get moved up, man, become more popular. Then we can give you more of what you want. So with that said, man, I'm gonna let everyone go. Everyone else stay safe and be blessed. So until next time, guys, peace
out.